This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast.
The Hidden Killers Podcast.
With Tony Bruschi.
It's very interesting now that we're several days out of the verdict in the Alex Murdaugh trial and the sentencing. Hearing what people thought, hearing what was going on behind the scenes. We're all watching it very closely, obviously, but there was things behind closed doors with those jurors that all of us were wondering about. Lots of introspection on the case, lots of thoughts of, is this going to be a hung jury? Is this going to be a guilty verdict, an innocent verdict? What is going to happen here? And I think a lot of us were almost onto the page of, this might be a hung jury. Obviously, we were all very, very surprised by that. ABC News sat down with Juror Craig Moyer in an exclusive interview to talk about what was going on behind the scenes in that very jury room and giving us some insight as to what happened when everybody sat down. Was everybody on the same page right away to convict Alex Murdaugh? Because obviously they came and went out of that jury room rather quickly. Here's what he told ABC.
It was 2 not guilty, 1 not sure, and 9 guilty.
What was your vote?
Guilty.
From the start?
Yes.
So that's kind of where I think a lot of us were thinking it was going to stick. Somebody's going to sit there and go, I don't want anything to do with this Murdaugh family. I'm not going to be on this list of people that damned Alec, but they all stood up. They did their duty. How did it change, though? Here's what Craig Moyer told ABC News.
He started deliberating, going through the evidence. Everybody was pretty much talking, and about 45 minutes later, after all our deliberating, we figured it out.
So it took basically 45 minutes for you guys to come to a decision?
Probably about 45, maybe an hour.
That's really fast.
Yeah, the evidence was clear.
Damning evidence, lots of it put out there, obviously, during this trial. There was no DNA, but there was a lot of circumstantial evidence, the video evidence. What exactly stood out most to you? I think for me, it was the dog kennel video, but also Alec and his ego and his narcissism taking the stand. What damned Alec most to Craig Moyer? Here's what he told ABC News.
His responses, how quick he was with the defense, and his lies, steady lies.
Did you feel like he was a liar?
A good liar, but not good enough.
So that's what damned him. But when you're right next to someone like that, who's accused of doing such a heinous crime, killing your wife and your son, right there. I mean, that's the thing. So many of us can't contemplate how this could possibly happen. But what's the character of that person? What did Craig, who was on the jury there, Craig Moyer, what did he think of Alec on the stand? Here's what he told ABC.
I didn't think much of him.
Really?
Really. I didn't see any true remorse or any compassion or anything.
Even though he cried a lot on the stand.
He never cried.
He never cried. What do you mean by that?
All he did was blow snot.
Did you not see tears?
No tears.
How did you know he wasn't crying?
Because I saw his eyes.
This is an examination of the hidden human condition.
This is the Hidden Killers Podcast.
The Hidden Killers Podcast.
With Tony Bruschi.
I think y'all figured out my opinion on the case over the last couple months. I think the justice was served here correctly. Will, of course, be interesting to follow as the appeals and all that come in. Crazier things have happened. I think we're actually far from over hearing about Alex Murdaugh. There's financial crimes. There's some investigation into Gloria Statterfield. And I think they should take a little bit closer look at maybe Buster. Just my opinion, but maybe we should take a look, not in this murder case, but in some other interactions that have gone down over the last several years in the bubble that was Murdaugh that has now been burst. My name is Tony Bruschi. You can follow me on Twitter at TonyBPod. Press subscribe wherever you download podcasts. You don't miss any of our breaking updates and discussions on the cases we are following. For you, the full list in the episode descriptions. Stay with us.